Shalom, shalom. In this video, I am going to share with you one of my dreams. Now, this dream happened a few years ago. How long ago?
It was December 5th of 2021.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a while. I feel it's time to start sharing some of the things that's been shown to me. That's helped me along my walk, and hopefully that it'll encourage other people to come out and talk about some of the things that they've been shown along the way as well. So at this time, we were still involved in church, and I was getting up at weird hours. And one of my friends was telling me, Satan doesn't get you up. It's the Father. He wants you to get up and read the Word. Satan doesn't want you to get up. He wants you to sleep in. Right. So I took that as an opportunity to get up and start reading the Word, and that's when some of the revelations in Scripture started happening for me. Well, this morning was a Sunday morning. We were going to go to church, and I got up at 3 a.m. and got out and started reading. And then all of a sudden, I just got really, 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 really sleepy. And I didn't want to go in and wake her up because she was asleep. So I said, well, I'll just go lay down and go to sleep on the couch. I went and laid on the couch and went to sleep. Well, then I had this really vivid dream. It was so vivid as if I was there. And I was back in at war because I'm a veteran. And I was in these buildings, running through these buildings, clearing the buildings, uh, and it was over. I don't know where at some other country because there was a lot of sand. It was desert, and the buildings were kind of like some of the buildings that I had, some experience in the past with. Well, anyways, I come out of this building, and I'm in with these guys, and I don't see these guys yet. But I come out of the building, I come out, and I look up, and right on the horizon are these two giant Egyptian robots. I say Egyptian because they look like that deity Anubis, have like that dog kind of face, and they're gold and blue, and they're huge, and they're just armored. And I look up and I see two of them, and I'm just standing there looking at them. I'm like, oh, I better go before they see me. So I took off back to the building, and next thing you know, I'm on this train, and this train is white. The table is white, and there's two men in front of me dressed in white with white turbans on their head, and they both had beards. And they asked me and said, are you going to go with us? And I said, I can't go with you. This is a dream. And the guy looked at me and said this to me. He said, Barnabas, you need to pray for Tiffany, for it is to fulfill all righteousness. And boom, I woke up. So I wake up, and she's standing over me. And I said, you got to hear this dream. I was like, I've never dreamed anything like this. And then she tells me,
So
yeah,
I got up at so I usually would get up between like 4 and 5 to read scripture. But this particular morning, I got up and I had like the weirdest and worst headache I'd ever had in my life. I mean, my head was pounding and I felt like really sick. I don't know how to even explain it. It was just one of the worst feelings I'd ever had. And I had felt like I was gonna pass out. I had already, gotten sick. And,
yeah,
anyways, I made it to the living room and I was standing there. And Frank woke up and tells me like this dream, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I've been really, really sick, and I have this
yeah.
extreme headache that you just can't even imagine. I mean, it
I was
felt like
like,
my head
wow, they
was
told me to pray for
pounding.
her, and then wakes up and she's not feeling good, and she's feeling bad, and
And so
yeah,
this is the time, we started visiting different churches, and we were trying to find somewhere where we fit
fit
in,
in, yeah,
right? And so we're like, okay, well, let's just try like different denominations, right? Let's see what these different things are all about. And this particular time we were going to Pentecostal church.
hmm,
All right. So I laid on the sofa beside Frank. We had a sectional sofa, and I was like,
we still do.
yeah, well, yeah, it's still the same
Couch.
old thing. But anyway, so I lay on the sofa, and I'm like, I'm just feeling horrible. And, mind you, I've always been the type of person that's like, I'm not going to miss church, right? Like, I've got to
Yeah,
be
she
there.
said,
I've got
I'm
to,
not gonna let the
yeah,
devil defeat me. We're going.
yeah. And so,
So we got up and
After
got ready.
after laying there for a
Yeah.
few hours, I still had this pounding headache, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna go. Let's get the kids and let's go to church. And so we go to this church, and while we're in there, we have this really weird thing happen. So, mind you, this whole time there's this like
Bad headache. Yeah.
pounding headache, like nothing I've ever
You
experienced
want to
before.
just skip to where we go to the store part of it, or?
I mean, we can. You don't want to share what we went through in the church, not necessarily.
It's up to you. I mean,
Okay. So, anyways, then, so it was a very weird evening or afternoon. We go home for a little bit. A very strange lady comes to our house, shows up at our door,
Yeah.
and so we'll
She
just
you went to the walk. Went on a
yeah,
walk
and
with
I, and
her,
I
yeah.
still had a really bad headache, and it was very odd.
Yeah.
So after that,
Yeah.
we decided that we were going to go to the grocery store, and we had a few errands to
Dixie.
run. We had a few errands to run. Now, I'm going to tell you, I have a big jacked up truck. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
hard to just see in it from, if you're just standing there. You'd actually have to look like pretty high to see inside of it.
Yeah, it's tall.
And so we get to the Winn-Dixie parking lot, and it's like a strip mall. There's like a Lowe's and some other stores in between, and it's a busy little section of the city. My son, he was 14 at the time. He was 14,
Yeah, I think
15.
so.
Yeah.
He's a teenager.
And anyways, he's pretty big. He's a pretty big boy. And he's like, Mom, he's like, I'm just going to sit out in the truck while y'all go inside. And we weren't going to be in for like 5 minutes. So
You were baking a cake or something.
something like that. Yeah. So I left the keys in the truck. And of all times, I put my wallet, like my little hand wallet thing, I put it in my console. And so Roman's sitting in the back seat.
Yeah.
And
We weren't in the
anyways,
store but like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we
and he
weren't
come
in there
running in
very
just
long.
hysterical. We're like,
He
whoa,
was
what is
like,
going on?
Mom, you're not gonna believe what just happened. He's like,
Yeah.
some guy just jumped in your truck and he took something out of it, and
Yeah.
and he's very
He said
frantic.
the guy jumped in with a hoodie on and turned around and said, "What's up, man?"
Or what's
And,
up, bro?
What's up, bro? And grabbed stuff out of the console and took off.
But he didn't
Like, in
realize
broad
at the
daylight.
time. Now I still have this major headache going
Yeah.
on, and so we go out to the truck, and it's like the guy had stolen my wallet that had everything in it: social security card,
And it's on a
ID,
Sunday, so everything is closed. So
credit
I
cards.
think that's probably why the guy was doing it, because he
Yeah,
knows that.
and
they
within
can
like
do
30
so many
minutes.
things before you get in touch with anybody,
Yeah,
right?
and so we call the cops, but within like 30 minutes, he had already
Got
been to like
gas
4 stores
and
at the
got a
mall.
hat from Lids and
And so
tennis shoes and yeah.
I'm trying to remember, like, at the time, oh gosh, what kind of credit card did I have or debit card? Well, obviously, but
Yeah.
trying to call these places on a Sunday and not having the numbers and trying to log in on each thing with this pounding headache to
And I was calling people too. I'm like, hey, this is,
Right,
I'm
please
our
cut this off
husband. We need to
because-
stop this car because we just got robbed. And, it was bad. But right in the middle of that, the interesting thing is I thought about this right in the middle of us going through all this. I said, baby, I know this is bad. And I know it's happening to you. And I'm very sorry for that. But this really did a lot for my belief, right? Why would these men in my dream tell me to pray for her the day she gets robbed, the day she has this pounding headache?
and they had
So,
turbans on
and they
their
had
head.
turbans on their head. I've never even met anybody with an actual turban on their head. And but yeah, it was so interesting. And yeah, so it was just
It
was very,
was.
and I can remember this dream just as if I was there, at the time. So
And I'm gonna
it
tell
was
you
just-
what else it showed was like his hand of protection, because at any point, at any given time, my son could have easily been like shot or something. But the guy jumped in there like casually and took my wallet and then just,
yeah.
and so my son wasn't harmed, and it's
Amen.
this
See that was
praise
just it was
Yahuwah.
just a big praise for us, because, and the cops were telling us that the same guy had just robbed somebody in Lowe's a few days earlier and stole a gun. So the guy most likely had a gun. So just our son is not hurt, everything's okay, you know,
But it's just
and
all the events of that day from
yeah,
the time I
very,
woke
very,
up.
very, very strange.
It was weird. That
Yeah.
headache was weird. And then the question that I kept asking is when they told him to pray for me because it was to fulfill all
Yeah, I feel like
righteousness.
she should pray for me. I'm the one that needs the prayer
No,
here. Yeah,
I definitely need prayer.
I'm definitely
Um,
not the one.
but it's figuring out like
Yeah, and why they call me Barnabas? I don't get that either. I don't know.
but so we just wanted to share that with you. If you have things that you've obviously other people experience things,
Yeah.
we just don't
And I
casually
do have a
talk
few other
about it.
dreams that I'll probably share with you guys soon. One is about a witch, which is creepy, but it does have a lot of meaning to it because now knowing what I know about what's happening in the world, it starts to make a lot more sense. The dream I had about this witch, and she probably remembers that.
Yeah,
Really,
I had to wake you up and all
yeah, that
that,
was
but
one of those. That was one of those kicking and screaming dreams. Yeah. But anyways, we just wanted to share that with you guys, and hope it's an encouragement to you guys. And if you know, I mean, if you had stuff like this, just put it in the comments, and we want to hear from you guys. Sometimes good or bad, we want to hear from you.
yeah, because we
Um,
don't have like an assembly of people. Like
yeah,
it's
just
us,
us
and so
here
so this is
in
how
this.
like we
Yeah,
communicate with you all. It's like
yeah,
unfortunately on the other side of this technology, but
yeah.
we do appreciate you and
And we love you guys
I love you.
as ourselves. So have a wonderful day, and praise Yahuwah. Shalom, shalom.